Hey
Hi,
guys,
everybody.
welcome to our TCF December meeting. I can't think right now, obviously, but I wanted to welcome you all out, and we're going to start with our Compassionate Friends Credo, and then we'll turn it over to Christina to announce our topic for the month. Each month before our meeting, we always start with the Compassionate Friends Credo, and it says, "We need not walk alone. We are the compassionate friends. We reach out to each other with love, with understanding, and with hope. The children we mourn have died at all ages and from many different causes, but our love for them unites us. Your pain becomes my pain, just as your hope becomes my hope. We come together from all walks of life, from many different circumstances. We are a unique family because we represent many races, creeds, and relationships. We are young and we are old. Some of us are far along in our grief, but others still feel a grief so fresh and so intensely painful that they feel helpless and see no hope. Some of us have found our faith to be a source of strength, while some of us are struggling to find answers. Some of us are angry, filled with guilt, or in deep depression, while others radiate an inner peace. But whatever pain we bring to this gathering of the compassionate friends, it is pain we will share, just as we share with each other our love for our children who have died. We are all seeking and struggling to build a future for ourselves, but we are committed to building a future together. We reach out to each other in love to share the pain as well as the joy, share the anger as well as the peace, share the faith as well as the doubts, and help each other to grieve as well as to grow. We need not walk alone. We are the compassionate friends." I forgot to introduce myself. As you can see, I'm Stephanie, and that is
Hi,
Christina.
Christina. So Stephanie and I are the co-chapter leaders for our local Treasure Valley or Southern Idaho, Boise Compassionate Friends group. So since we can't meet together for our monthly meetings, we've been doing just a live video every month. So this is our third video in this series. And since it's December, we decided that we would do kind of a Christmas themed video. And this one's called Finding the Joy in Christmas. So Christmas time is obviously supposed to be filled with joy and laughter, family, and usually gifts. But after you lose a child, none of that really seems to matter anymore. At least it didn't for me. Things that you used to do as a family, that we used to do as a family, can just make you sad. Traditions don't feel the same because you have someone missing. And old pictures of Christmases past are kind of eerie and sad reminders of how things used to be. So with all of that, how are we supposed to find joy in all the sadness and the pain that comes in the holidays after you lose a child? So I did some research and found some articles, which we'll post in the link in the video below. But in the article, it said you might be asking yourself lots of questions. Like, if this is your first Christmas, especially after you're losing your child, you may have questions for yourself like, do we decorate a tree? Do we send out a Christmas card? Do we take a new family photo? Do we use an old one with our child still in it? Making decisions like, well, do we go to the family party or stay home? And if you have young children like Stephanie and I do you keep up with your normal Christmas spirit and pretend like, not necessarily pretend like nothing's wrong, but still try to find traditions and keep doing like Elf on the Shelf and stuff like that with your kids? How do you do that, when you're grieving? So,
Right.
do you have any input on that?
Yeah. So for me, Christmas is hard. It's so
Yeah,
hard. This is going to be, is it our third Christmas without?
it's our
This is our third.
fourth.
Is it our fourth? This is our, wow, crazy. So this is our fourth Christmas without our boys, and
Yeah.
it's not. I can't really say that I've ever gotten the Christmas spirit back since I lost him. That first Christmas was rough. Like, I mean, I still had two little kids, and I was pregnant with another one when we lost him, or that Christmas anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a total Grinch. I
Mm-hmm.
still made sure that I put out his stocking. I put Joshua's stocking out, and we do a gift from him to the boys. But that Christmas tree didn't go up until Christmas Eve. I didn't decorate at all. Like, I wanted nothing to do with Christmas. It did not feel like
Yeah.
Christmas. And I can't say that it really has since. Obviously, we still do things because we have the boys, but it changes. Christmas does change.
Yeah. Yeah. And my son Mason's birthday is December 20th. So his first Christmas, he was just 5 days old. And so that Christmas was interesting because I had a 5 day old, my first baby. And then the next Christmas was super exciting because he had just turned 1. And then the next year he was gone. So we really hadn't started any kind of family tradition yet, my husband and my son and I. And so when that year came around right after he died in August, it was just 4 months after he passed, 5 days after his missed birthday, we were like, okay, we're not doing anything for Christmas. Nothing really happened. We had this tiny little tree we set up on the counter, and we had all of our mason ornaments and like sentimental things that people had given us. And that's about it. I think we put that up the next year and maybe the year after that. And so far, it's what, December 3rd, and there's been no speak of a Christmas tree yet. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
some tips that I found in that article that I think are pretty helpful, things that I think we kind of figured out on our own, but apply to everybody, is just kind of plan to not have a plan, especially if it's your first Christmas when you're grieving, because at any given time, as you probably have learned over the years, or even if this is your first year, that you just don't really know how you're going to feel in 5 minutes. So you might be totally fine 1 minute, and the next minute, something triggers you and you're a hot mess. So if you get invited to do something with your family or friends or have a work party, something like that, just say, you know what, I'll let you know on the day if I feel up to it or not.
Exactly.
And don't feel bad about
definitely plan on hosting anything that first year.
it. That's probably wise.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is to be honest. Tell people what you want and what you are comfortable with, because if you don't tell them, they won't know. And if they're used to you being the one that hosts all the parties, bakes all the cookies, does everything for everybody, they're going to expect it. Sorry, it's the truth. So if you don't want to do that, make sure you let them know.
Yes.
They probably won't talk about your child, toast, set them a place at the table, unless you want to do that and you're okay with that. So make sure you let them know if that's something you want to do, and talk about how you are feeling. Sometimes family can bring comfort when you learn how they are grieving the loss. So just do what you are comfortable with. If you're with family. So I don't really have to worry about that. We don't have family close that really does anything as a family on Christmas. So I haven't had to run into that yet.
Yeah.
But you definitely, whatever you are comfortable with, be sure that you do. So for us, we always have a red plate at our table. And we always make sure it's a big deal that he has his plate on Christmas as well. And, if we were going to have people over for dinner that night or whenever on Christmas, somebody might ask about it, but it's not.
That's okay. Yeah.
It's gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah, and I think on the other side of things too, another point is if you do end up going to a party or a family occasion, people often don't know how to act around you or what to say. So if you are okay with them bringing up memories and the stories of your child, make sure you tell them, because they may not know. They might think that it's just going to make you cry and you don't want to cry, but really it's the total opposite. But people don't understand that. It's like music to your ears when somebody says your kid's name, right, and talks about them. You're like, oh yeah, you remember.
And if I am crying, it's because I am so stinking happy that you talked about my baby.
And it's okay. It's okay if someone, tell them that. Say it's okay if you make me cry. They're probably tears of joy, maybe not, but it's still okay, because they just don't understand, and they see tears and crying as a bad thing, and really it's the total opposite, but they don't get that until you tell them. So if you want to have them set a plate, just tell them, or set it yourself. If you want to do a toast and share about stories and memories, then just bring it up, start the ball rolling if you want to. And then hopefully people will chime in, which kind of brings us to our next point with make sure that you're spending your time with people who understand how you are feeling about your child and who are helpful. If you go to some kind of event and you're talking to people that either don't know your child and you bring something like that up, may not go well, or people who are not letting you grieve well and you bring them up and they're like, get over it already. Just don't even go there. Don't put yourself in that position. If they are not people who are understanding and helping you, just avoid them. That's what I do.
I am the awkward person that I will be the first one to bring it up, whether I intentionally do it or not. He's just so much a part of my life still that it just comes up naturally.
Yeah.
But other people go, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you're around people that you can do that with, and you won't go, oh no, I just ruined everything.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So the next bullet point was, if the idea of Christmas just isn't in the picture, get out of town. Christmas is just another Friday this year.
So true. So if you just can't even deal with it, it's just any other day. Just move on.
Yeah, go to Hawaii. Have fun.
Yeah, so on a positive note though, we do have some things that we have done to make Christmas a little bit more joyful in our lives, even though we're both kind of Grinches. Or just ways to honor your children or at least bring them up. Here's some suggestions that we have, things that I've done. So for example, that first year after he died, we had just taken family pictures in May. And so luckily he was in them. And so that year we just used those pictures, which we probably would have anyways, even if he hadn't died. But in every year since then, when we take a family picture, which is usually at Thanksgiving, we use it for our Christmas card. We always wear yellow. And so that's our way of honoring him. And every time we sign a card, even for like little kid birthday parties or any kind of card that I give anybody from our family, I always in some way say Mason's name, like, and remembering Mason, or I still say Mason, Noah, and Everett, or remembering Mason, Noah, and Everett. I don't know. I always have his name on there. Or if it's somebody that I don't necessarily know, but I can't handle the fact of not writing his name, I'll just say the boys. And then I just don't have to go there. It's kind of like what we mentioned in one of our other videos about depends on who you're talking to, you know, if you want to bring it up or not, the fact that your child's gone. But anyways, that's what we do. Do you have anything that you guys do in your house?
Yeah. So we just had family pictures taken for our cards, and we had his teddy bear in the picture. So, I mean, it's right out in the open. That's our Joshy teddy bear. And I signed the cards, Love the Empty Boys. So
perfect.
There we go. It incorporates all of them.
It's vague, but you know what it means.
Exactly. And I think that's the important part. No one else has to know. Like, of course, if you're close to us and you know, and you get a Christmas card and there's a teddy bear in there, you know that represents Joshua. If you're a normal person, you're like, oh, the boys brought his teddy bear.
Right.
Whatever. It's just a prop. But it's significant to me and those who know what that teddy bear is.
And that's what matters. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. So you do you, whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you don't want to do Christmas cards, you don't have to do Christmas cards either.
That's very true. Nobody expects you, especially if it's your first year, to be sending out a card, and don't even worry about dealing with it.
Exactly.
But other things that you can do, or things that we did in our house, is we have a lot of sentimental and like remembrance type ornaments and signs, and you know, everybody's got signs that say talk about joy and cheer and whatever during the Christmas holidays, and we're like, whatever. But mine, I'll say like something to do with Mason or have a yellow in it. All of our ornaments are like, not all of them, but a lot of them that were given to us after he died are like an angel ornament, or they have yellow in it. And then one year for TCF, actually last year for TCF, our December meeting, which I'm really sad we can't have, we made ornaments for our kids. So we got little clear ornaments and put a picture inside and decorated them with their special color, which mine's yellow and Stephanie's is red for Joshua. And that was awesome. I think I made 3 just for me. So I actually probably should get my tree out this year just so I can hang them. But yeah, that was really cool. I really love our Mason ornaments. And then yeah, do you want to take the last one?
Yeah, that's fine. So like I said earlier, sorry, my baby is really loud today. I've got all the other boys down for a nap, but he is not having it.
That's all right.
But we always put out the stockings because we have 4 other boys. So his stocking always goes out, and it always has a little something in there for his brothers. Obviously, we're not going to put candy and oranges in his stocking because he's not going to eat it. But there's always a little something in there for his brothers from him, along with a book. So we always do it. We probably talked about this before, but every year they get a new book from Joshua. So for like the last 2 years, 1 year they got A Hug from Heaven, and then the year before they got The Invisible String, and then last year they got A Hug from Heaven, which are just these sweet, sweet books. And there's some other ones that I'm super excited about. I haven't ordered them yet, but there's one that they're going to get this year, and then they'll probably get one at Easter as well. So those are just little things that you can do to incorporate your child into that, so their brothers still feel like he's part of us at Christmas. And Jared and I, the last 3 years, we have written letters to Joshua, and we actually put those in his stocking as well. And
That's
it's something
a sweet idea.
I haven't read Jared's. We seal them, and we still have them sealed, but it's just sharing our year with him, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that's
but it's
cool.
something sentimental that we do together. Sorry,
that's a great thing. No, I really like that. We've actually talked about that at a TCF meeting before, not necessarily for Christmas, but just like writing down something for your child in a letter, kind of as a way to like get it off your chest and what needs to be said and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea. But kind of a last point that I'll just say, if you are trying to figure out if you want to do Christmas this year or not, or just trying to find a new tradition, I think it's okay to start new traditions. So after you lose your child, feel free to change it up. If you used to go to a different family's house and you don't want to anymore, that's fine. If you want to start setting a place at a table for him and, doing something like that, do what feels right for you and your family.
Very true.
Yeah.
And if you need, we'll post those links below to give you some more ideas. And if you need more, let us know. We are here to help, and there is a great group of people that would love to help you as well.
Yeah. So we hope you have as merry of a Christmas as you can, and reach out to us if you need anything.
Please do. Right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.